What's up, YouTube? This is Power Surge. I want to talk to you today about the 5 ways that college can actually pollute your mind if you're not careful. The first way that universities today are corrupting young people's minds is by giving them the kid forever mentality. It's the situation where you ask a lot of 19 or 20 somethings, they have a job and they say, no, I'm working on my degree. And society kind of accepts them for this. It's acceptable, like, oh, good for you, you're working on your studies. That's great, you know? But at the same time, these kids are missing out on learning opportunities in the workplace, actual work experience. They're not learning how to deal with bosses or customers. They're not learning these interpersonal skills as well as technical skills that you learn in the workplace. Also, these kids in their 20s that don't have jobs, they need to eat, right? So somebody is paying for their food or their housing, their cost of living, whether it be student loans, so the future is paying for it, mom and dad's money, which this is the case, unfortunately. A lot of parents are paying for their kids and just throwing money away on their kids' education expenses, or some kind of government is paying for it. Let's say they have food stamps or something because they have no income. They don't grow up financially and they don't grow up mentally because they stay on the campus with all these other 20-somethings that are in the same scenario. You're surrounded by other adult children. You ask people in college too, do you have any kind of savings or retirement, or have you invested anything, have you started saving for retirement? They'll say, no, of course not. The books are $400 unless their parents set money aside for them. No kids these days are like saving for retirement in their 20s if they're going to school and buying $400 books and tens of thousands for tuition, so on and so forth. I know kids that are my age, like even older than me, 33, 32, and I recently talked to them about work and I like my job that I've got right now, and they say, yeah, man, I can't wait to just finish school, man. Like, I just doing essays, but I can't wait to finish school. Can't wait to get in the workforce too and like make some money. And these people are like 34 and they've been in school all this time studying underwater basket weaving or something, and they haven't worked yet. It's really sad. A lot of these people, they're gonna finish school with enough debt to buy a house, and other kids their age that didn't go to school and went straight into a trade, they're going to be buying a house rather than having an entire mortgage worth of student loans. Second way that college can pollute your mind if you're not careful is drinking. A lot of people drink, right? It's nothing wrong with having a beer once in a while or a glass of wine. It's even been shown there's some health benefits to having a glass of wine every once in a while. I myself enjoy a beer, wine, a tequila drink if I had a hard night of work. It helps me relax. However, drinking in college is like a triathlon of drinking, right? In college is where keg stands and a lot of beer drinking games, beer pong. These games were invented in college because people test how much they can drink in college. They really go hard. I've gotten binge drunk before at that age too, but the longer you stay in college, this culture of party and drinking acceptance in the real world is kind of lame. Nobody that's a serious professional like goes hard and drinks all the time. Like even professional DJs that I look up to, this guy Excision, admits he like rarely parties and he goes home with his girlfriend after shows. He doesn't drink. In college, you just drink all the time. Any excuse to get wasted. Someone's birthday, someone's leaving, sorority party, St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day. So many excuses to drink. And I have friends that they've been in school, they're like 27 now, and they come home to visit and they're raging alcoholics. These kids have not worked and they actually don't have any money, so they steal $20 out of their parents' wallet to go buy a bottle of whiskey, and then they consume that bottle of whiskey in like a day. It's really sad. But some of my friends that have been in college a really long time are deeply alcoholics, and this is like a demon that is going to be very hard to kick. So the college environment sort of fosters this drinking demon that can grow in people. So that's one way it's bad for you to go to college, and it pollutes your mind because you just drink way too much, and drinking is accepted and encouraged. The third way that college can pollute your mind is by giving you unrealistic expectations of the world outside of campus. Some people have delusions of grandeur. They believe that because they have a degree in social sciences, they're going to go out and re-engineer the prison system and they're going to do this crazy change in the world. And to be honest, they've racked up like 6 figures of debt, and a prison is going to want someone with an MD next to their name, and the prison is owned by corporations. They're not going to change anything. But this poor person has worked so hard and spent so much money on this idea that she can't believe anything but this delusion that she's going to go out there and change the world and the prison system. So it's blind faith is what these people have. They have this faith based on their effort put in the degree that they're going to change the world or have some crazy job that may not be there for them, and it's not going to pay their rent and pay their loans, that's for sure. Or on the obverse side, this is even worse and sad, but I've met people that get their college degree and then, let's say it was for helping students with disabilities or children that are disabled. This same people, I've heard them mouth words, I'm never going to be rich because I work with people who have disabilities. I'm never going to make any money because I work with handicapped persons. To just admit defeat like this, I understand you went to school for 6 years, but to say you're never going to have any money, come on, man. If you want to help people with disabilities, you want to have money. You could open up your own institute or school to help people. This mentality of shutting out opportunities because they've invested so much in their degree or their school path, and then it just closes their mind to other potential. That's the saddest one. You can have a delusion of grandeur saying I'm gonna get out of college and go, but if you think you're gonna get out of college and not be able to make any money, that's just sad. All right, fourth thing that is really gonna corrupt your mind if you aren't careful in college is the rampant political activism and the encouragement to be triggered and super active in everyday politics and the social justice things that are going on. In the real world, you're going to realize that talking about politics and race and feminism and all these very hot button issues in the workplace or anywhere is going to start drama. And you don't want to invest a ton of time into what Donald Trump is tweeting or what, the latest sexual harassment scandal is. All these things will kind of deplete your energy, and college is telling people to go be active and be a soldier for these kind of left-wing causes. And the colleges have a political agenda. They want to crank out people who vote a certain way, who work a certain way, and who think a certain way. You're actually criticized for thinking differently than they want you to think in the university, which is the opposite of what a university should be. It should be critical and free-thinking people. But there's a lot of political indoctrination. And finally, the fifth way that college can actually corrupt your mind is you are given forced learning. You're forced to take certain classes, maybe for the criteria of your degree or course of study. Some of these are politically charged classes, but you're forced to learn a lot of things that you may not want to learn in the first place and that may have no real application to real life or your job. Forced learning is hard. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do the homework. You don't want to go to class. I don't want to study for this test because it sucks, right? As opposed to when you're outside of school, you can keep learning. I stopped going to college at 22, and that's when my learning began. I started to learn about investing. I started to learn about how to grow weed. You guys don't know this, but I grew weed for 10 years. It was an amazing hobby and very satisfying experience. I learned how to build mopeds. I've learned about cryptos and stocks. Everything from this channel, my knowledge has come from the internet and studying and books. I was able to read so many audiobooks while I'm delivering pizzas rather than being forced to write essays that no one's going to read. I was actually able to absorb useful information that I wanted to learn. The thirst for knowledge doesn't die when you leave school. In my opinion, it grows because now you're learning what you want to learn, and that learning is easy. Let's say you're really into motorcycles. If you start watching YouTube videos on motorcycles, you're studying motorcycles, but it's not a push to do it. It's not you using all this effort to study. You're enjoying it. It's play. So outside of school, you're learning things that are more play and useful, real life stuff that you want to learn that catch your interest. And in school, a lot of times you learn about crap you are never going to use. I used to sit in my English class and listen to these idiots have discussions. We'd have to sit there for 3 hours while other students talked about, how are we going to fix the education system? How are we going to... It was so silly. It was a complete waste of time to sit in class and learn nothing sometimes, or learn things you don't want to learn. So I hope you found this video helpful, guys. If you did, go ahead, smash that like button. Please feel free to subscribe because I do make videos all the time. Leave a comment below if you completely disagree with me, or if you have a 6th or 7th thing that may pollute college kids' minds, please feel free to add it in the comment section. And as always, just have a great day.